All good. Yep. When does it start? When does it start? When does it start? It's been 4 minutes, guys. It's been 4 minutes of starting soon. I think that equals starting soon. I think that's well within the range. We'll get a countdown timer for you guys so you know precisely when the first words are going to be. Ollie554, what do I call you? Because you're obviously a staple in this chat already, and your name has 6 numbers in it. What's up, Jay? Welcome back. Hey, Lace Bacon. Hey, guys. Good morning. It's bright and early at 11:51 a.m. where I get to drink my morning coffee and talk to you guys. We have some plans today, but it's going to be a lot like yesterday as far as format goes. When it comes to focusing on one thing at a time, giving a bit of a demonstration, taking some questions, finishing up the job, and moving on to the next. I really like that theme. It seems that it came pretty natural, and it's something that I think you guys could get very used to and like feel the rhythm of it very easily. Emo Tarzan, yo, love what you do. Thank you. I love it too. And honestly, we were, I mean, we meet up pretty much most days of the week. I mean, the Skate IQ guys. Brock is out of town. Our filmer is out of town right now. So we have Tyler on the camera, who isn't usually running cameraman stuff. And we've just been trying to find different ways to connect to you guys, to give you guys as much content as possible. Like, how do we really give you guys the chance to ask questions where I can answer them? How do we know exactly what you guys want? And we try very hard on YouTube videos to like look through the comments and really like meet you guys where you're at, like see where we're at as a community and how you guys are progressing and all that stuff. Live stream. It just clicked that like, oh, we should go to the skate park and just do it live. Take the questions and just make up tutorials on the spot. We will have this hopefully one day where we could be doing live and doing a YouTube video at the same time with your guys' feedback. Things like that I think will help take this channel to the next level. Especially you guys are here watching and supporting the lives. Like, this is my favorite way to make content, because just scripting YouTube videos arbitrarily and trying to get those phrases to land and knowing what clips to show and whatnot, like, you have to make really good YouTube videos or it doesn't get views. People just stop watching. Lives have a lot more room to be scatterbrained and to bounce around and to go on, like, I could go on a 2-hour-long tangent on stopping if I wanted, and that's like very freeing for me. Really bad at ollies, can't seem to get the right timing. We'll pretty much do ollies every single day. Throughout the stream, like, we're gonna set aside a time for ollies. It's just too fundamental. Most of our viewers are at that skill level where it's basically like entry level to all the tricks. Like, when we talk about transitions, it's going to be like dropping in, maybe locking into a grind, gaining and losing speed. Ledges, we're working at 50-50s, attack angles, and speed control, and how to bail safely, things like that. Flat ground, pushing, stopping, ollies, switch, reverts, like the really fundamental stuff that at any level will take you the furthest if you get it dialed. Heel flip today. We could do some heel flips and kick flips today. I think that is, if anything falls through the cracks, it's heel flips. So I feel you guys on the heel flip struggle. I just started skating after 9 years, and your videos are really helpful. Anime fan freak. After 9 years, a lot of people take like long breaks at like 16 years old. 9 years is actually pretty short. Usually it's like 16 to 32, 36 years old they start. Then they come back and then they're like, I want to get my drop-ins back. And I also like anime, so that's cool. And Andy Anderson says kickflips originated from the concave. Can you show that? I think that's true. I think it's more of a modern thing to do kickflips off of the nose. Obviously, skateboards in the beginning didn't have noses, and they didn't skate transitions that were as big, and it's just a different era. So it was legitimately more of a kick motion back in the day when they first came out. They pick their front foot up, get some space from their board, slap the grip tape with their shoelace, and have a day. But now we the boards have better pop. They're a bit longer, twin nose and tail. Like, we can use the nose a lot more than they could in the 90s and early 2000s. Maybe early 2000s is a bit late for that sentence, but you get the idea. We could touch on crooked grinds. That'd be sweet. Andy is not in the chat. Someone was asking about something Andy Anderson said. I've never done any grinds or slides. What's up, Korok? Bancho, Skate Life. Yeah. Curbs, I have a feeling you need a laser flip tutorial, which is a good idea. I don't know who Curbs would be. Is he in the group?
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be one of the three.
One of them. You should tell them the.
Okay, yeah. We have our online community, and we're running an online game of skate for our members. And we're down to the finals. I think there's 3 people left. And today's trick, is it up yet? You just posted it?
Yeah.
Today's trick is a laser flip, and it's the final day. It's the final knockout round. If one person makes it and the other people don't, they win for like the month long. We've been posting a trick every single day, and you have to make the trick to get points, and then now we're at this stage. And I'm thinking, okay, Curbs is in the finals, but he's not one of the 3. Okay, that would have been smart though, to come straight to the stream to learn the laser flips. And they have 24 hours to submit their trick, so it's been pretty chaotic in the group. You guys really are obviously going to pick the hardest things in the world that I'm not even convinced you guys want to learn laser flips. You just want me to do them. You want me to get jumping 50 times in a row trying to land a laser flip in the sun. Quick question, is it playing out of both headphones? Yesterday it was only out of the left ear, and today we're looking at both. I got the 6-week essential last night. Can't wait to get started. That's awesome, GM. Let me drop that link real quick. skateiq.com.
Audio's good.
Audio solid. Look at that. We're rolling. We're going to get to our first subject like very soon. Cut. But we're here to hang out. We're here to have a good time. So if you're in a rush, you can just come back and skip through it later. I just dropped a link to the collections, what he was talking about, what GM was talking about. He just picked up the 6-week essential training program. It's awesome. It's on our website. Breaks down every session, every drill that you should do for the next 6 weeks. To get a strong foundation and get your fundamentals solid, be able to move on. Because a lot of times when you start working on tricks that are a little bit too hard for you, that is like right in front of you, but you don't have that solid foundation, it's going to be really hard. So we worked super hard to put together a program that everyone can do, but it also will help you no matter what skill level you're at. So I'm stoked on that. All right, let's get to it. We're going to start on transition. Let's go up to the taco. And we're starting on transition because this is going to be my warm-up. I don't want to jump yet. And everything on flat ground and everything on rails and ledges and all that stuff requires a lot of jumping. So I'm going to warm up my hips, warm up my knees, and get a feel for my board today on this thing, which is one of my favorite quarter pipes ever. Probably going to have to stand pretty close to the quarter pipe. You can stand like right here. And actually I'm goofy, sorry. So over here. Yeah, and we'll just cover some basics on this 4 or 5 foot ramp. Check this out. Check out my phone. If that's not a skater phone. Oh my God.
Oh. Liveception.
That's bad. Yeah, I like it. I think the best anime is probably, I don't know. I mean, it always ends up being a fight because I just like Attack on Titan, and everyone likes Attack on Titan. So then all of a sudden nobody likes Attack on Titan. I'm sorry. It's the best. I'm halfway through it for the second time, and I read the manga. I have Levi, a sticker of Levi on my water bottle. I'm just so down for it. But let's focus on skating. Alga's my local. We'll come say what's up. I'll be here for a little bit. Thank you, King. I agree. Let's work on rock to fakies, because that's a great warm-up trick. I'm gonna do one to start, and then we're gonna cover some basic issues that you're likely to run into. This whole issue where I'm very far away from the camera, we're gonna have to deal with that for today and maybe the next 3 or 4 days if we stream. But Brock's gonna come back into town. We're gonna hook up his sick camera to our sick backpack, and I'll be in a better frame. Okay, so the first thing that we want to focus on for rock to fakies, we first want to make it as approachable as possible. Generally, when you're trying to learn a trick, if you're going from having your board not over the coping, and then all of a sudden you're trying to learn how to put your board over the coping and then come back in, that's a very big change. Our goal when learning is to make the smallest change you can possibly make and have the biggest impact. So how do we isolate it so going over the coping is the only thing we're changing, instead of changing your speed and strategy and all these things together and going over the coping? It gets overwhelming. You're gonna bail before you ever have a chance to really learn it. I think if you do it right, you should pretty much learn rock to fakies on the first try, because you worked your way up properly. So to isolate the rock to fakie as much as possible, we want to break it down into steps on flat ground, which is going to be reaching the board forward, right? So when we go up the transition, I'm gonna be saying things like reach for the coping. And while I'm riding, you might not be able to see what that means. That just means you are pushing your board forward in front of your body, so you can reach the nose out in front of you and then bring it back, right? When we're standing on it, you can pull it back and forth. This is a pretty simple skill that you can practice and learn. Most people get it after a couple, like they stand there and look all awkward, and then the board starts moving. Go. So the reach forward, it's very important. It's important because if we have too much weight on our front foot, it's hard to lift your front leg. And you can imagine that that's a pretty big issue. If you're on the deck, you got all your weight on your front foot and you can't lift it up, and then by a miracle you do lift it up, now all your weight's on your front foot and you're slipping out. So this alleviates a lot of problems at once. It loads your back foot better, gets your board up in front, makes it easier to lift your nose. And it really unlocks this ability to like tap your front wheels around, where if you're centered over your front leg, that tap gets a lot harder. You got a lot more weight into your front foot. So reach for the coping. That's what that means. Reach for the coping. That's the most basic skill we can work on. Now we can just go up and down. And when you're going up and down the quarter pipe, I want you to focus from like here. I'm probably 20 feet away from the quarter pipe. I want you to eyeball a specific spot on the quarter pipe. Right, there's this little rock that you can't really see probably on camera, but I can see it with my eyes. So I'm gonna lock in on this spot, and then from back here, laser beam focus on that spot. I'm gonna try to put my front wheels exactly there. And if I can get my wheels exactly that height, I know now my brain and my eyes are working together. And that's pretty good. So now I can pick that spot and try to reach past it. So I can push that board just a little bit more forward, going that same speed I was going. So it's important to have your system calibrated so you know how fast you're going, you know how high you're going on the quarter pipe if you don't reach. And then when you do reach to get past it, now you can see just how much that reach will affect you, okay? Now we put this motion up by the coping, and you know, you're like, oh, okay, I can just reach up and over it without going much faster, right? Then you can go slow, you can be chill, and you can still get to the coping. All right, so that's like speed and control. Let me see if there's any questions. Only focused on speed and control right now. Bend knees low so she'll call you back. Yeah, let's talk. We could talk about flat bottom. Squat the lowest possible, or just bend knees to pop higher. So let's talk about flat bottom. Slightly put force forward. Hey, Amy, we're gonna do rock to fakie, and then we're gonna build a tail stall directly after this. So that's perfect. How different would the speed be versus rock and roll? Okay, so we're gonna cover flat bottom, and then we're gonna cover the lifting and landing motion, and then we'll do rock and roll, and then tail stall. So the flat bottom is actually where most of the trick is done. I tell students all the time on vert and on mini ramps that skateboarding is done in the setup. And that's not just foot position and speed, that is also how much you're squatting and when. So if we look at momentum, we want to be in control of our own momentum. So I can go super fast and crush myself into the ramp and slow down a lot. So that would be, I would call that not having control of your momentum. I can go at a chill speed, get low in the flat bottom, and extend up the wall and just have everything be super smooth. Usually, people are just somewhere in between that. They go a little bit too fast, they lose some speed, and they do their rock to fakie super clunky. So I want you to get low in the flat bottom and then push up the ramp, right? And as you're pushing, that's when you can reach, and it's pretty straightforward. Let's restart our speed to work on lifting the nose. You would assume that lifting the nose, especially on a transition, is going to come from rocking back and forth. Like if I'm in a rock to fakie, you'd think that I have to lean back to pick the nose up. Just couldn't be further from the truth. All you want is to lift your front foot high enough to get the nose in the air. You can lean forward, you can lean back, you can lean side to side. Doesn't matter. If you pick up your front foot, your board will follow. When your back foot is on the tail, you cannot take your front foot off the board. I mean, my foot is glued to the board no matter what I do. So it's just a lifting motion. So it's just reach and lift. Reach and lift. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna go halfway, reach and lift. See how smooth and soft that is? That's like, that feels good. That feels like fun, easy. You can comprehend it. Then you start double tapping. And once you're double tapping, you're in. I mean, that's all it is. You just start adjusting your speed. Get your wheels to tap right under the coping. And then give it a shot. And when you think about speed, you can go much faster if you want. Let me make sure my nose isn't gonna get stuck up here. I've seen this happen. I've seen it where like they get in the rock to fakie. Yeah, come here. And the nose gets stuck like under the. It's so not pretty. This is fine though. Yeah. So if you want to go faster, actually you can still be pretty close if you want, because I can hold on to this railing. If you want to go faster, that's fine. You're still gonna have to just keep your weight inside of the ramp. The biggest mistake you'll make is if you're going real fast on a rock to fakie, is getting your weight up here, and then your board starts to slide in like this, and then you're just screwed. You really can't do anything from there. So you want to keep your weight in the ramp. A lot of weight on your back foot, and you're actually pushing on your front foot to keep your nose low. If I lift my front foot too much, it starts to slide the board down. So you just got to sit over the back truck and then really lift to commit to bring it in. So you can go that fast if you want, if you feel comfortable. There's really not much of a difference between rock to fakies where your board is halfway on the deck and rock to fakies where your board is all the way up, besides some fear. When you're thinking about rock and rolls and speed, you can do rock to fakies, you can do rock and rolls at every speed. You don't have to deck them. You don't have to do nothing. So we can think about rock and rolls sort of like a late kick turn. The reason we think about it like a late kick turn is I want you to turn your body first and then your board. What a legend. And we turn our body first so we can be turned around as you hit the coping. So that lets you do it at every speed. I'm not a huge fan of decking every rock and roll, but I do like sometimes. So when you're talking about just speed with rock and roll, it really doesn't matter. Just learn how to face the other way and then bring your board around. Should be in good shape. All right, let's see, that's how it gets like that. This thing cuts me up, literally. Like when I reach into my pocket, it actually cuts me.
I don't doubt it.
Didn't know you live stream. What's up, Sugar Cube? Yeah, we just started. Why not? What does it mean that I should feel more like a revert than a kick turn? What is exactly the difference? Yes. All right. So let's really focus on the feet here. Let's say a kick turn is like this. And this is just me guessing what you mean. Let's say a kick turn is like this. Right, where everything is turning together, your feet are staying in the exact same place on the board. Where a revert is a kick turn, but I turn first and then I let my back foot pivot on the tail. So that board is spinning around my foot. My foot isn't just following it around. Right, so if we look at this on the kick turn, that back foot can stay in place and then the board slides and turns around the foot. That is something that is under-taught, and that's on me. I remember I did it with a student not that long ago. It was very useful when they realized that, and then we have not put it in any YouTube videos just because the things that we've been teaching haven't come up, so that hasn't been a part of any of the content. You need to get second live stream. Yep. Second one, Joe Doe, what's good, homie? I need to get a nice sturdy case. I'm probably gonna bring my phone into Verizon, and because there's a sign on the window that says that they'll buy any phone from anyone in any shape. And I'm gonna try to bring both my phones in, trade lines, and get a super cheap one, single phone that works.
I'd be like, let's see if they really...
Let's push them to the limit.
Let's see if that promotion is true.
You know what you were worried about in that board meeting when you first proposed this. That's me, and I'm on my way. I feel like rock to fakies, I have to put my front foot so much closer to the nose. That's interesting. Huh. For stability. But closer than what? Like when you're not doing rock to fakies, like what? Like an axle stall? Are you like, oh, I'm chilling, I can have my foot low? If you're just worried about skating out fakie because you're leaning too far forward on the way out, I would focus on reaching a bit more. Do you plan to multi-stream on Twitch as well? Why don't you go to twitch.tv/skateiq right now?
You let us know.
And yeah, and you let us know if we're multi-streaming right now, because we are trying to live. Can someone tell me how to Ollie hire? Oof. Anyone at all? Is there anyone here who can help TBH Ollie hire? Thanks to Mitchie and a cameraman. Yeah. Freeing up my back foot isn't something I ever considered. That's a great way to put it. Free up your back foot. Let it just sit there and let that board pivot all the way around it. That's so, I mean, that's happening all the time in rock to fakies. Sorry, in rock and rolls and frontside rock and rolls. And tail slides. I actually think that this idea that your back foot stays in the same place all the time is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing for skateboarding. We're gonna make a reel about that as soon as we get Brock back. As soon as his helicopter lands at the playground next to us, we're gonna have Brock set up one of his 20 or 30 cameras.
Yeah, we'll have his driver bring it over.
Yeah, his driver will come bring it. How do you rolling drop without hanging ups? We'll do some roll-ins later. That sounds like a good idea. We don't have a great place to do it right here, so. Yeah, Nikki, we are on Twitch also. Big spin a hip. Okay, bet. After the X Games, are you going to be more of a street skater now? I'm just more of a skate IQ skater now. I think that's what we're doing. It's what I do all day, every day. I skate, I teach, we make videos, respond to questions. I have not been training for contests. I am booking camps, and we're booking flights and going all over. We're going to be in Italy and in Amsterdam, and that's going to be in June. And that's when all the X Games are going to be, so we're just focusing on Skate IQ and seeing how that goes. I know I'm happier focusing on this stuff. Competitions for the last 15, 16 years, every year, all year, has been really hard on me. Not my body feels good, but I'm just not. I would not be excited to sit in a warehouse just trying to dial in like 4 tricks for a year. I think helping you guys learn ollies and kickflips and big spins over hips was the thing that makes me the happiest. Do a kickflip. Yeah. Oh, we're going to Charleston soon too. Charleston, South Carolina. Are there any slots available in that camp?
2 slots.
There's 2 slots left in the Skate Charleston camp. I bet Tyler's putting a link in chat right now.
I'm trying.
He's also filming, so give him 4 seconds. Yo, man, if you stream on Twitch, you could definitely link Twitch on YouTube. Okay, so our system's very complex. So we got this backpack that Tyler's wearing, and then it's going to an SRT server. I just know the letters and the words. I don't know what any of that means. And then we're multicasting from there, and it's very hard to make small changes like the title of the YouTube stream. We don't know what we're doing. What's the benefit of actually having Twitch linked on YouTube. Because like, wouldn't we want to keep people on YouTube and like keep Twitch a separate thing? I'm reading YouTube chat. So I don't know. I'm 28 years old. All right, let's go to tail stalls. And I'm gonna have, no, let's stay this way. I'll just do it nose stalls, but it's all the same. So we're gonna follow like the same rhythm that we always do. And you say, Mitch, you just repeat yourself on all these tricks. Like, I want the real way. It's, I'm not making this stuff up. It's just how it works. It shouldn't be complicated. It should be so simple that you can watch a stream and then go do it without anything in between. That's how I teach. I believe you should get better right away. There's this really big thing in teaching that I struggle with because I'm a very technical teacher at heart. I just don't think that's always the smartest thing. There isn't this big relearning phase where you get worse for 7 months and then all of a sudden you learn tail stalls. I think if the tips are good, you should get a little better right away, and if you're serious, you can get a lot better in a long time. So for the tail stall, we're just gonna go the lowest barrier to entry as slow as possible. What skills do we have right now that we can put on a quarter pipe that turn into tail stalls very naturally? So we can just set up in a standard foot position, which would be something similar to an ollie, where your front foot sits below the front bolts, maybe on the bottom two of the front. Your back foot goes on in a stable position, which is in the center of the tail, not having your toes off the edge. You'll see some pros with their toes off the edge a little bit on the tail. I just would not recommend it. Do with that information as you please. You can get your back foot in the center of the tail and then boom. If you can do tail taps consistently every time with different foot positions or whatever, you're in good shape. All we have to do is go up the quarter pipe a little bit and back down. And then we do that same thing and you just lift your nose a tiny amount. Okay, you can do that while staying balanced. That's good. If you're struggling with balance, you might need to pump. If you're pushing into the ramp and leaning into the tail too much to try to pick up the nose, that's gonna make it really hard to get back over the board. Then so you're gonna start rocking. If you're rocking and you add speed, that gets really tough really fast. Okay, so we pump up the ramp, keep our balance very centered, lift up our front foot, boom, nice and easy. Now all we gotta do is lift up our front foot more so our tail runs into the ground. This idea kind of cracks me up, especially as I get some more experience, that I'm so afraid of missing my tail on the coping. And I'm like, yeah, but what happens if you don't hit the tail on your coping? Are you just flying off your skateboard? Like, you're just like, oh, I missed my tail stall. Like, that one was, bless you, Tyler. That one was really close, but I just missed my tail. It's like, no, there's no situation where you should end up like on your lead hip into the ramp. That just doesn't make much sense to me. Chill out, go up the wall, lift your leg to put your tail down, and roll away. Keep getting your makes up, and then keep adding speed. The only thing that's gonna happen is when you start going fast enough to get to the coping, you're gonna have to wait so long before you put your tail down. That's gonna feel like 5 seconds going up the wall. It's seriously like, you get to the bottom of the transition, it's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, not yet, 4, Not yet. 5. Okay, commit to lifting your front foot up all the way and keeping your weight in the ramp. And 1, 2, 3 on the way out. So get your balance good, get your balance well, and be patient when you're putting your tail down and aim for the coping. But you shouldn't be falling every time you miss the coping. Capiche? Wiggle your trucks for tightness. My trucks are very tight. They're too tight. I just don't own a skate tool. Remember to sub and like the video. Remember, this makes Mitchie so it can eat tonight. We don't have memberships available yet. We're brand new to the streaming world. We just got all the gear and we're just literally pointing and shooting, answering questions. If you keep your weight in the ramp, then your wheels go too far. What happens? It's a great question. First of all, slow down. Like, your question was great. Like, slow down your speed on your skateboard. Because if you're missing long, you've put yourself in a dangerous spot. I can't think of a great reason to go too fast to a rock, to a tail stall. So, yeah, you just go into an accidental rock. But if that's not within your skill range, you should stay on the inside of the ramp, not the deck. If you do go to the deck, do it on purpose. What's up, Waterviller? Welcome. I struggle with trying tail stalls. My trucks always slide over the coping. It's likely a speed problem combined with a lack of lifting the front leg. So, one of the biggest issues, actually, with good balance is it becomes harder to lift your nose into the air. I actually did just find a remedy for this on popping, but not on tail stalls and stuff. Because when our balance is good, we're going to be standing a little bit over our front foot. We'll be skating out of it this way, right? That means that I have to get my knee all the way to this shoulder while I'm falling towards my foot, right? If my weight's over here and I pick it up, I'm gonna fall forward. That takes a lot of strength and commitment. It's easy to lift your foot into the air if you lean on your other foot. We don't have that luxury. We can't really be that lazy. I call that being lazy because it's easier and sometimes less scary. But I would say it's an issue of speed and probably when your balance is good, not lifting that front leg up a lot. How viable are symmetrical boards? They're pretty good. I had a twin tip from iShod that I give it like a 6 out of 10, but it was just because that wasn't my shape. I think twin tips are perfect for me if I found one that was this shape. I think that would be great. It's not absolutely necessary. It would be like convenient and fun, but I don't need them, so I just don't have them. But they're a completely viable option. Yeah, big W iShot for sure. You guys reading YouTube chat or also Twitch? We were just reading YouTube chat. I honestly doubt anyone is even watching.
We got 9.
The Twitch. We got 9 viewers on Twitch.
9 on Twitch.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to combine chat. We will. We're brand new here, so give us a bit of a break on the technical side of things.
If you want my phone, I could leave Twitch up.
Fakie big spin. Yeah.
It's not firing like YouTube. But.
Yeah, I mean YouTube is absolutely goated right now, so I don't know what we're gonna do long term. I know we're gonna keep multicasting actually, so we'll probably just figure out how to combine these chats and go from there. It will also be easier when Brock's here and we have more time to work on this on the laptop. We're kind of just running and gunning right now.
Literally.
That's actually what the system's called. That's a good one. No pun intended. Someone asked for a frontside grind, and I really like that idea. Do you have any tips for breaking through mental barrier? Yeah, for sure. We can talk about that when we get to flat ground, shove-its, mental barrier. Shove-its are just hard, man. They're just scary because oftentimes that's the first trick where you learn where your feet come off the board and then land back on it. So it's like you have to learn two things at once. There is tools for that have both chats. For sure, avoid TV. You sound like you've done it before. I've seen one YouTube video that said that you can do that, and I went, great. And then we just started the stream. I gotta make sure I keep my energy. I am 28 years old. Let's do grinds on coping for sure. I did do the 1260, Jason. Okay. We're gonna start doing some grinds. We can do it here, but I feel like let's go over to the bowl and do some slash grinds and keep working on rock to fakies and tail stalls. Really like drill that in. And then we'll come back over here and we'll do like a big flat ground session. Let's just finish up on transitions. I think that's a pretty solid idea. I forgot sunscreen today, which is pretty whack. I also want to do the thing where I put the backpack on and just skate around filming, like with the camera, and you guys get my perspective, what things look like. I think that would be pretty nice. This is the current state of skate parks in America. This is the most average thing that you'll end up seeing. Oh, there's people in the bowl. There's people in the bowl. We should just do...
You got the little bowl back there.
Yeah, let's go to the pool. Why not? Hey, afternoon. Pretty good, how are you? Oh, there's someone in there. I know. Look, guys, it is what it is. Yeah, I'll just take some laps. Just trying to stay out of you guys' way, but we'll just sub in like normal. Let's see. We got the live stream running.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and they were asking about frontside grinds or your slash grinds. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah?
You guys are doing slash grinds right now?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, that works out great. The pool sesh was blown out. Quincy, Illinois. We've Jason. Any advice for someone who skated for 12 years, stopped for 5, and started again? Well, actually, just some perspective. A lot of people do that. Like most of the viewers on Skate IQ and our group members and our adults in the camps, they skated for 12, 15 years or less and then took 15 years off. So if you're just like chilling, you have some experience, you took a couple years, 5 years, 6 years, and now you got like shaky legs coming back, you're a bit nervous, your values are maybe a bit different, you don't want to get hurt, it can be scary, but you're in a really good position to like get your tricks back that you had and to really progress. I mean, a lot of it comes down to like good foot position and good strategy and just like good practices. Like stay safe, man. Seriously. Woo! Okay, let's do some slash grinds in the bowl. Okay, so it comes down to two average problems. We're gonna first talk about what happens when you have too much weight on your toes and you turn too fast. That is one problem, right? Because those really work together, where you start leaning towards the coping on your back foot and then your nose shoots around. Let's just focus on that for a second. And I'm just gonna do it right here. Oh no, this is good. This is good. So the hard part is getting up to the coping in a predictable way, all right? So if I'm too much on this toe, I'm actually gonna start slowing down on my way up, right? It makes it really hard to get up to the top. And then when you do go fast enough, your nose turns too fast, so you end up turning away from the coping. This is most of what you guys watching trying this will be most of your problems, that no matter how fast you go, you can't get to the coping because you keep turning away from it. So we're always gonna skate towards where our nose is pointing. So you have to point your nose up at the coping all the way through it to then get into the grind, okay? You see this shape of a frontside grind or a slash, so you go, oh, I gotta get my board there and then somehow get high enough. It's not the case. You gotta aim your nose through the coping and then hit the coping and let it turn you. So a great way to adjust your balance is just adjust your foot position, drop your back foot back on the tail, making it easier to stay on the heel side rail, and then just turn slower. Rotate slower, like bring that nose around slower. Oftentimes I'll feel like I'm reaching my nose up over the coping, over the coping, and then just hitting the backtrack. Okay, I'm on like a 10-second delay, so I got to wait for if there's any questions based on that first thing. I practiced my running starts today. That's what's up, Mikester. Get a running start. For a backside slash, then, does that mean you can see the coping? So that's my biggest holdup. I don't know. I don't like looking at the coping backside while being in. Yeah, I mean, you look at your back foot, probably. Okay, there's no real questions on that first thing. That seems like everyone got it. Let's get to our second thing. So the second idea is, how do we stay in the ramp and rotate the right amount without falling backwards? The biggest misconception with frontside is actually the idea that you have to pull your chest back to get back in the ramp. There's never one position in skating where you go here. Nobody's ever been there in their lives and been happy about it. You stay down and in so you can see everything, right? I'm not pulling and reaching. But one of the things you can do is shift your feet back towards the heel side. Keep your upper body in it. And then all you gotta do is slow down that rotation and your wheels will start going up over the coping. But there's never a moment where it's going like this. And you can feel that if you were to just squat down, put your chest to the ground, and then do like a heel side turn. Like this is fine. I'm turning front side. There's no problem with that. If I was doing that and I was stuck turning backside forever, that would make sense to me. But that's just not the case. You can turn frontside and lean forward, and then that takes out that feeling. Whoa. And you can see, because if you go like this, you can't see anything. So, those are like the big basics. Those are like big bucket basics frontside slash grind. What's up, Matt? Is that crooked grind? I think you're tripping. I don't think Big Boy Foy is here, my brother. Wait, everybody's saying that? Are you guys serious?
Jamie Foy is it?
That's what they're saying. There's a big rumor in the chat, but seems fake.
How? That'd be crazy. If he was at this.
That seems fake.
This part, yeah.
What is that? Googly-eyed melon. Nice. I just want to answer questions about the frontside grind. Make sure that makes sense. The lean forward and get back. Do it clap though. It's a great question. We should cover that later. Let's do frontside. Let's really dial in this frontside kick turn in a way that works for frontside grinds. So we got the basics. How the hell do you get your trucks to the coping and not die? That's great. But how do you practice that? Like, what's the lowest barrier to entry, you guys right now? What's the simplest, stupidest, simplest way where you can get on your board at home right now on the carpet watching this stream and be like, oh, I get it. And what we're gonna do is turn with our feet and not with our body. So when you take your foot position, just move your back foot back. So you move your back foot off the heel side so you can turn front side without doing anything. Like, I can just turn front side by standing on the board. There's this idea that, like, oh, your foot position is locked into place and now you have to like try really hard to turn a direction. I would rather you be able to move your feet than move your body, okay? So set up your back foot in a position that takes you off your toes, puts you on that heel side rail, and then get used to pushing into your back foot to turn. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Set my back foot way on that heel side of the tail, and I'm just gonna push there to turn front side. Right. See ya. This is very different than getting stuck on the toe side and trying to really lean into it. Yeah, it's fun, sure, and if you like it, that's just fine. But if you're struggling getting high enough, get that foot position right, take that backwards lean out, and you'll be chilling. Turn with your feet, not your chest. Aim your chest at the ground. Make it easy. Skateboarding's hard enough. Make it easy. Ad roll. Okay. Mitchie sounds like a Cessna, probably when skating. Is this the end of the transition tips? Seems good with me. Carving in a bowl or street tricks.
Unless you want to throw the bag on.
Yeah, let me throw
Out the camera.
Let me throw. Nah, let me just hold that. Let me throw the bag on. Let bag-ons be bag-ons.
That's perfect, because I gotta hit the bathroom anyway.
Cool. Look at this thing. This feels very official. This would be an expensive slam. So. Now we got POV section rolling. What are we looking at here? Shove-its. We'll do shove-its next. We'll do shove-its next. Don't worry so much. Whole chat's freaking out about shove-its. Can I get a shout out for my channel? What's up, ramen noodles? That's dope. Love your videos. I love from North Carolina. We'll be in Charleston, South Carolina very soon. So that's in your neck of the woods. I appreciate the dono. Appreciate the fact that you're watching the streams. Yeah, everybody needs to practice more. What happens when you try to shove it? Okay. So let's take a couple laps in the bowl, and then we will go from there. Let's see what that looks like. It's perfect because I'm on a little delay, so I can actually watch. Too much of a delay. This skate park's in Carlsbad, California. Feels like a roller coaster. Okay, we're gonna go now. Now we're gonna aim it this way. It's genuinely fun. That's the crazy part. I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years. And it's still a good time. That's gonna be awesome. Making me dizzy? You guys are weak. I'm just gonna go in the shade so I can see this. I can see this POV, this POV. Oh, this would work if I could put my phone right here. No, this should make nobody dizzy. This is clean. This is a clean run. Yeah, this is Carlsbad. That control is unreal. It's pretty chill. Check me out so I know what to work on. Join our group, join our online group. I'm in there every day talking to everyone. skateiq.com, and then just join the community. Going through video reviews, watching clips every day. The whole community's sick. That's the best way to do that. Let's talk about drop-ins. I'm gonna do this just POV. We'll just POV this up, see how it works. It's gonna be a work in progress, so if there's anything that is like absolutely trash angle, just complain a lot and we'll change it. So, okay, we're looking at dropping in. You got my perspective. First thing that I want you to look at is the back foot. A very underrated part of the drop-in. Most people seem to drop in like this, which doesn't make any sense to me. And when they turn their foot, they're like this, where their whole foot is on the board. This feels horrible. That feels terrible. Like, I swear to God, that's scary, okay? Get it so your front foot is pointing directly between these back bolts all the way up to the nose, this way, okay? Then when you turn your foot, your toes are on the board, your heel is on the deck, and I can plant my weight on this back heel right here. I can stay here forever. I can push on the nose and keep my back heel towards the ground, and I'm safe. I'll stay there, okay? That's step number one. Step two is understanding that the drop-in comes from getting your weight out over the ramp towards flat bottom and then letting yourself tip into the ramp. How slow you tip is very surprising to a lot of people. So I push on that front foot to get my tail in the air a little bit. Then I release my back heel and I'm sending my weight this way and then down. Most people tend to send their weight straight through their board, and that feels very weird. So we want to take our weight and move it up and out, up and out, up and out, and then down. Very different situation. How are we tracking on pause? 20% off all programs just for the live stream chat. Use code Ollie20. That's crazy. He did not run that by me. What's Jason doing? Everyone's streeping about. You'd be amazed how many people in the Midwest watch your videos. Yeah, I am amazed. I had some guys from the Midwest fly out for lessons. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Actually, Minnesota. We're coming to Minnesota.
We're coming to Minnesota like next week.
May 17th and 18th.
Oh, May 17th and 18th, Minnesota camp. If you guys are out there, I would love to skate with you. Too late. Already took advantage. Thank you. Tips for feeble fakie. Let's go move over to... Oh, Caden, you're in the Minnesota camp. That's great. What's up, Sweden, Philly? Heel flips. Where do your eyes focus when dropping in? That's a wonderful question. Let's figure that out. Let's go to a big transition because I feel like that's more important. I feel like your eyes tend to naturally sort themselves out on smaller transitions. And the big ones are going to be a lot trickier and a lot scarier, and doubt's going to creep in. Then you're going to go, I messed up, and then bail, and then you'll have a lot of time to watch the streams. Okay, so you're looking at like, I don't know, this must be between 8 and 10 feet tall, which that's like a range, right? If you're looking at like the quarter pipes, you got that like 4 to 7, then you got that like 8 to 10, and then you got that 10 and up. Okay, those are like pretty good way to break down transition sizes. Small changes between each gap. So I'm looking at that seam at the bottom of the transition right now, just to get a feel for this thing. And then since it's a curved wall, I can actually see this transition from the side. So over there, it looks a lot more mellow than right underneath me. Underneath me looks very steep, so I'm a bit concerned for a second, and then I look over here and it looks pretty mellow. So I go, oh, this transition is actually that mellow. I can pick a spot about halfway down the transition, right here, where this tape is, and I know that's where the transition starts to get pretty mellow. So all I have to do is set up like we did on the other one, push that nose down a little bit, and tip forward just a little bit, and then my eyes are going right where that transition starts to get mellow, and then they're cruising out along the ground through the flat bottom. I'm okay to look out here as long as I can still feel what's going on here. I'm very connected to the drop-in. I can feel the transition in my body. I know what to expect. So now I can let my vision cruise out. If I can't feel that and I have to stare here, that's okay. But I would rather get to a point where I feel comfortable looking at where I'm going so I can pump into it and attack. So it's really person by person and quarter pipe by quarter pipe. As you get more comfortable, it becomes less important where you look. But in general, the mistake people tend to make with their eyes is they look not too far ahead, but they look nowhere at all. So like, if I'm dropping in over on this big quarter pipe, I can look all the way across the park to pick my line on this corner. That's just fine. I have the experience, whatever. But what happens is skaters tend to look out like into the abyss. And I want your eyes to track the ground along your skateboard and then out forward from there, right? Your eyes are following this line very specifically. When you're in the air, when you're in a grind, you can look straight down at your board and let your eyes cruise back out. But when you are here and then you snap up and snap down, you snap up and then you don't know where you are, like, we're immediately gonna have people watching the stream like, hey, I'm getting dizzy, stop moving the camera like that. And my point is, that's how you guys are skating. And I see it all the time. I genuinely see it all the time. Your eyes track just along your skateboard. Easy peasy, lemon frickin' squeezy. When are you coming to Texas? A bunch of people waiting for you. You guys are waiting for me in Texas? It's crazy. There's nothing on the... Hey, I broke my first set of bearings. Happens.
No, don't be mean to it, buddy. I told you that over 2 million times now.
2 million. Commit to blunt to fakies. Yeah, let's do some ollies. Nah, you are. Nope, this is an 825. Tiger Woods. Steep as in the vert. Steep. Well, the ramp is only as steep as the transition. Right, if you got a big transition with a little bit of vert, I wouldn't really call that steep of a ramp because you won't be on the vert. Good ollies in less than 2 weeks. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Keep taking the advice, keep working at it. You'll be ripping if you learned ollies that fast. All right,
Ready?
Let's go check out some street stuff.
Got it.
Got it. I didn't even bring my keys today, so I got nothing to forget. This is great. I enjoy this. We can do some step up stuff in a little bit. Oh, homeboy's back. Let's see. We're gonna do ollies and shove it. We're gonna do ollies and shove it's and a street sash. Mike is making noise. Oh, I was probably hitting it with my board. Don't smack the mic case with the board. Oh, sorry. Jeez, get off of my... All right. Oh, I did it again. No, I'm hitting it with the board. And they are pissed. They are not happy. Okay, flat ground sesh. We can just do it here so you can sit in the shade. Something's digging into my
Gun is digging
Okay. I think we start with ollies no matter what. I think that's probably a good idea. Is it possible to learn no comply trick in one session? Yes, for sure. Board slides on rails, that will be later. That will be a little bit later. 9 Club Yeti. Yep, this is when I was on their show. They gave me this, and it's the best cup. It's just the best cup. Yeti makes the best gear. How did those Bones ceramics work out? We posted that YouTube video of my setup, and we never answered the Bones ceramics question, and it is a hot topic.
Yeah.
They're just not that different. I just don't think buying the most expensive bearings is a good idea for anyone. I think even if you're worth $100 million, the $25 bearings that you take decent care of will be just fine. I really did not notice anything. It actually was a little bothersome because then we went to Utah and the altitude, it's like a mile high, and I was going so fast on the vert ramp that it was like annoying. It was like hard to control. What bearings do you like to use? I just use, reds. I just go to the middle, I just go middle zone, Bones. I think the Bones, there's Bones bearings and Bones bushings. I actually don't know, but I think there's something where they're two different companies entirely. I thought they were the same company. After practicing hippie jumps, I lost all my pop in my moving ollies, while my standing ollies are high as possible. What am I doing wrong? That's a tough one without seeing it. Oh, Stroja, what's up, my guy? How you doing? Rest those legs, bud. I need help with my ollies. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, let's hit some ollies. Everybody wants help with their ollies. Look at that. I wish we could change. Does anyone know how to change the name of the live stream? Because we could literally change it right now to teaching ollies. And we would get 1 billion people in here watching, probably. Maybe 2 billion.
It's a tiny joke. I know that's just my head, man. I don't know. Now run to it from here.
How to ollie? Yeah, nothing. Okay, it's all good. So let's start with the basics of ollie. Let's build a great ollie, and we'll go from there. So there's a bunch of things that are just completely neglected when it comes to the physics of ollies. When you are popping your board into the air, there's this idea that everyone is very obsessed with pushing it forward. You can see what happens. If I push my board forward, it just drags the tail on the ground. And there's not a great way to pick that board up. Okay, it ends up running away from you. So let's get that idea out of our head that we're having to throw the board up in this way. Okay. The second thing that we have to talk about is just sliding your front foot. At this stage of the ollie, when the nose is in the air, what does sliding your front foot really accomplish? And what does it mean? What's really going on? Okay? Sliding your front foot forward, and I mean like forward, not up. There's a lot of chatter. Is it too loud over here, or are we all good? It's all good? Cool. Okay.
Can I stand over there?
Yeah, I was just letting you be in the shade.
The sun's better. I think the lighting is better.
So, sliding your front foot forward doesn't really make sense either. You don't have much room this way, and that doesn't accomplish anything. Pushing your front foot across the board isn't really going to do much. Sliding your foot happens because you are bringing your foot up to the inside and then up and around the top, right? So if we were to think about it without your front foot on the board, your front foot just goes in this motion, right? To flatten the board out. So your front foot's actually very passive throughout an ollie. It's catching the nose here. It's just lifting up with the nose to control where it is. And then just like light nudges to get that tail to flatten out. The pop actually is going to happen towards you. This is a very weird thing to think about because it would seem like this nose is going to stay out in front of you the whole time. And the ollie is going to somehow go out here, or I think people imagine it like this, right? Where that nose stays out in front and just comes straight up. But really, this nose comes up, back, and then over. So if you think about it, it makes perfect sense, because if I'm standing here, then I just pop, now that nose is going to be all the way back towards my trail foot. So my front foot, if I were to catch the nose there, then that would mean my front foot has to be all the way back here. But you think about it, that's the exact shape that everyone knows and loves with an ollie. That is the sliding the front foot motion. Right. It looks like you're sliding it across because of the optical illusion of your foot sliding up the grip tape. That is so much different than it sliding forward across the board like that. Okay, so that is like the main idea of what the physics we're working with. Now the tutorial is like, how do we get that to happen consistently, and how do we do it efficiently and easily? When you're set up for an ollie, you can control the nose with your front foot. The nose will follow your front foot. So the first thing I recommend is that you connect your front foot to your back shoulder or your center line, that like your sternum. You pick up your front foot directly towards your back shoulder, or like in this zone right here, super fast. Like if you can learn that, just getting your front foot into you, you're gonna have an easy time with ollies, because you can just jump, do that, and you're in good shape. Yeah, your board might not flatten out, but you're gonna get in the air and you're gonna have a fine time, because you will feel pressure from the board on the bottom of your feet. Then you can take that same motion and add just a little bit of pressure, a little bit of power, by pushing your back foot down and backwards. A very important piece of this is you are not letting your back foot touch the ground ever, ever. You are kicking air, right? That back foot, that tail leaves your back foot and then slaps into the ground. You are not stomping it and jumping, right? If I stomp and jump, tail doesn't come in the air. I mean, I think most of you guys will be a little bit past that, but in an intuition, in like a instincts way, but it's not obvious until you notice or you really figure out that your back foot never touches the ground. Sometimes it's helpful to try to get your back foot to leave the tail as early as you can. Like with your front trucks only this high off the ground, you can throw your tail all the way at the ground from like far away. That's awesome. The backwards motion is just to bring your board towards you more. All that does is give your front foot a bunch of pressure to work with, and then when you do that sliding motion, when you go over the top of the nose, you have the opposing force to really flatten out the board. Really helps with, that seems to be a lot more natural for regular ollies, but this really helps with switch ollies. if you really learn how to get that circular motion going. Okay, crash course on ollies. Now we're gonna take some questions and answer the very specific, very good questions that can lead to some tangents. So let's see what we're dealing with. Gotta let chat load up. Nice GIF. There's some GIFs. What? What are you talking about? YouTube Studio?
Yeah, I tried.
I can't find it. Keeping the back foot on. Main difference between stationary and rolling. So, your back foot. So there's a couple of ways to think about this. The first way is it's just okay to have your back foot get some space from the board on the way up. A lot of times on ollies, your feet aren't really on the board until the top of the ollie. So I wouldn't be too hard on yourself if you see space. It's hard to see it in real time, but it's there. I would be hard on yourself if there's space and your tail never comes up. If you're trying to ollie, you're picking your back foot high into the air and your tail is staying low, that's when we can start getting this circular motion rolling, where you're pushing your back foot backwards, you're picking up your front foot high and in front of you and moving back and then trying to do that shape. That will really get your back foot to stick to the board a lot easier. But again, if your back foot is, if your tail is coming up all the way to your back foot, it's just slow, it's just gonna take some practice. That's okay. You can do like that back foot moving backwards, super useful. Where does the back foot go exactly? Exactly. Where does it go exactly? Skating isn't an exact sport. It's a lot of wiggle room. But your back foot is definitely not going this way. It can go out in front of you a little bit, but mostly backwards off the tail and probably out in front of you a little bit. It feels natural to do for me, so I guess that's, yeah, it's going like backwards and a little bit away from you towards your toe side. Boom. That makes it really easy not to hit the ground. If you're kickstarting your ollies straight down, you're just gonna run into the ground with your back foot. If you send your back foot out away from the ground, you're never gonna hit the ground. Okay, so that makes your pop stronger. That also takes your nose and throws it up into your foot a lot better. So I think that's a good way to put it. What changes when you're moving? If you are dealing with scrapey ollies, as in like your tail isn't coming up, that's going to be hard to do while moving, because you're already probably throwing your tail a little bit too far forward. So when you're moving, now you're stuck over the tail, and that's a little bit scary. But if you have this motion where you can pick that back truck up, then ollies while moving really aren't that different. You just gotta trust that you pull your ollie this way and you can push it back in front of you. I don't think that's that bad. If you can do the basics of skating, if you can do hippie jumps, you can do hippie jump where you lift the nose, you can pop and shift the board back, kind of like you would a tech deck. You ever done an ollie on a tech deck? You got that backwards motion. That seems to really help if that final piece is just picking your tail up or your board shooting out in front of you from that place. Let's see. Do you mean your tail? Your tail should definitely touch the ground. Your back foot doesn't touch the ground. So let's find a, let's go over to this like ledge over here. I'm just gonna use my hand because we got the time to explain this. Step into my office. So, your front foot lifting up into the air, your board will follow because you have 150 pounds on your tail. So when you pick up your front foot, it will come up, okay? Imagine it like this, okay? Imagine that my hat is a 150 pound weight and your front foot is the only thing on the board. When you lift it, it's gonna come up with a lot of pressure, okay? So your board is loaded super hard into the tail just by standing on it. This is somehow like escapes most people. It's not an obvious thing. I guess when you are trying to lift the nose, I think people tend to lean on the tail more than doing anything with their front foot. But when you pop, your back foot will leave the ground, will leave the tail well before your tail hits the ground. Then it bounces up into the air and runs back into your back foot. The faster your tail bounces into the air, the more pressure you will have to control the board in the air. If your tail is bouncing really slowly, then you won't have much of an ability to maneuver the board or do tweaks and stuff like that. So a lot of the complaints aren't just the fact that you guys aren't getting your tail all the way into the air. Some of you are. It's just coming up really slowly. That can be from your back foot hitting the ground all the way and then jumping, so your tail is coming up really slow. Or you could be sliding your board forward a little bit, and that's gonna make your tail drag. You want this motion where your back foot is pushing or you're jumping off of your back foot before that tail hits the ground. And then you can shift it a little bit backwards to get that thing popping nice and strong. You can stay here. I just forgot my phone. I'm just gonna make sure that's clear. Let's see. Almost 400 likes, not bad. What makes a good skate park is having good concrete. That's 100% true. I hate when I show up to a park and it's like crusty concrete that really hurts to slide on. You ever struggled to get back out there as an adult? Well, I'm 28 and yeah, I mean, I've struggled to get back out there. It's kind of a catch-22 because, like, the answer is just get back out there. Like, I don't have the answer for you because there isn't really an answer, because the answer is just get back out there and take it slow. So do with that as you will. There isn't like another thing that happens where now you're ready to get back out there. It's just that you go to the skate park and then you skate and then you're doing it. There isn't like another thing that happens. So when I do ollies, I get pop, I lift high, but my board stays forward. My front foot only lands on the tail side. How do I fix that? Rewind the stream for the last like 10 or 15 minutes. Press screen record. Watch that 45 times. What do you usually listen to when you're skating? No, I don't really listen to music. I never have, while skating especially. I always found it like pretty distracting. I like the quiet warehouse and the big vert ramp. I like the sound of the wheels and feeling the wheels rolling while I'm in the air. I think if it's too loud, I can't really think straight. Maybe that's a sign. Well, thanks for picking up my questions. No problem. Yeah, this is we're in California. What order should I learn my rail tricks? Well, definitely in the safest order that you can think of. Like, if you're staying safe, it doesn't really matter what order. Like the board slides, probably backside feeble, and then like if you feel more comfortable with nose slides or half cab boards or 50-50s, like this starts to become up to what your strengths are. No problem. Thank you guys for hanging. How do I pop out of my front nose slides, Mitchie? This is a very difficult one. I've been getting this question a lot today, and frontside nose slides are just hard. Again, my question is, when you do the popping motion, how can you pick your board straight? Because when I'm trying my hand ollies, they keep hitting my knees and shins.
Yes, there are many ways.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's go in the shade, because we can do this here. So I actually had this just happen to a student not that long ago, and it really surprised me. Your board will tell you where your feet are moving. Like, if your board is running into your shins and you're like, man, and I swear I'm pushing my foot this way, not that way, and it just keeps happening. Every time I push my foot, my board runs into my shin. It's like, okay, your back foot is moving away from you. So you're gonna have to get it so you can get your back foot either straight down or away from you this way. If you pull your back foot towards you, that moves your nose away. If you push your back foot away from you, that moves your nose towards you. It's very binary. This is one of the most straightforward things. So, and you get great feedback from your board. 45 still ripping. That's what's up, Toby. Could you go show other ways to get up a curb without ollieing? There isn't really like, I think ollies are the easiest way up a curb. I wouldn't have you do like wallies up a curb, even though they're the most fun. This is what I usually do. Just force myself to go back out. Sometimes I can't do it. Once I force myself, I'm okay. Yeah, I mean, look, this is like a really big topic in life because like most people think there's another thing that happens for them to be what they want to be. Like, oh, I want to go to the park. Any tips to get back out there? Like, there's nothing else besides just going. It's like, what does it mean to be a pro skater even? It's like going to the contest and trying. And then like, if your run was good enough, you qualify, and then now you just go to that contest and try. It's not like you wake up one day and you're like, all of a sudden, I'm ready to be a pro. This is so sick. I got everything on lock. What's up? Yeah, we're doing a stream. Bye-bye. And it doesn't feel any different than you felt yesterday. There's not like a third thing that happens. You just go and try, and then that's it. And you're still you. You're still exactly the same you that woke up yesterday and that's gonna wake up tomorrow. You just gotta show up. And that's what we're doing. We just pressed go live. Not like all of a sudden feel like a live streamer. We're at Alga right now. Could we have help with our kickflips? Yeah, sure. Where are you? James? Are you in the corner? I don't know who James is, but he's here. Is that bad news?
Yeah.
Yep, give it a shot. Just hit ingest. That's offline. One more time. Oh, there we go. Oh, what's up? What's good? Is that bad? So our camera died. And since we have, I can't believe stream number 2, we used the offline save your ass setting on the stream, where usually the entire stream would just end. But we're sending it through a special server, so if we lose connection, because we're out and about all over the world, you know, if we lose connection for any reason, it holds the stream live so we don't lose everyone, and we can still talk to you guys. That's great. Trent, that's the opening of our last YouTube video. Go watch How to Be a Pro Skater or something like that. I forget what the title is. How to Skate Like a Pro. How pros skate, what pros do differently, something like that. That is your ticket. Power slide tips would be great, but we don't have good ground for power slides. We could go to Poods in the morning one day and do power slides there. Marv, yeah, not us. We're not the smart ones. We just found smart people. Do you want it on the other side?
The camera?
Yeah. We appreciate the professionalism. Better organized than most pro streamers. Well, that's the thing, because we're gonna go from 280 viewers to 28,000 viewers with your guys' help. So make sure you are subbing to the channel, sharing the stream with your friends, and making sure you pay attention when we finally decide on a schedule. Knowing how to find smart people is smart. That's actually true. Stupid is as stupid does. What's up, Ty?
All right, we're good.
Wait, I want to see this. I want to see this Tyler. This Tyler. No, you aimed it up.
Oh, I missed. Well, wait for it.
Oh, one more time.
Yep.
What's up? How do I get my friends to try skating? You go to the skate park a lot, and you meet the people at the skate park, and you become friends with them, because that's where the skaters are. You're rarely going to convince your friends who like playing Halo or lacrosse to try skateboarding and stick with it like you. You want to make friends in the thing that you love. Do the thing that you love alone, a lot, and be social. Talk to people. Show up when the weather's not good. Show up when you're least likely to show up, and that's when you find the people who are the most passionate about it, because they're there as well. Nighttime is great. Under the lights. I understand teenagers are scary, but you're gonna have to go up and talk to people, or just try your best fattest Ollie in front of a group, and if anyone taps their board, be like, thanks mate, I've been watching you skate too, you rip, and then you guys are gonna become friends. What's up, Matthias? Thanks for the $5. I can do backside reverts, not frontside. What's the secret sauce to foot placement? You're always jumping and always shifting your weight between your feet just barely. So if you want to go frontside, you can jump and shift that weight a little bit forward, and just make sure you start rotating. Once we're back in the street section, we will cover frontside reverts. There's someone here who wants to work on some kickflips. We'll see how that goes. I think we should try that. Yeah. I think we should definitely.
It's the kid over
it's
on
James and Max, I think.
Yep.
Heel flip with the A is nuts. It's officially changed to heel flips. Let's go do. I need a Master Chief skateboarding. I bet his battery didn't die. He's just avoiding laser flips. That's funny. You guys aren't gonna let that slide. Let's see if he wants to do kickflips up the Euro. Let's let them go. Germany, I love Germany, but we're probably not going.
Quick stop, maybe.
We could make a quick stop in Germany because it's sick.
Rome to Amsterdam.
We are taking a train from Rome to Amsterdam in early to mid-June. So maybe stop in Germanville. Hey, do you want to try it up this thing, or what are you thinking?
I was
for your
thinking a kickflip, but learning that would be cool too.
Oh, so you're just trying to ollie this?
Yeah.
Okay, so kickflips on flat.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
And if you want to say hi to about 300 people, they're sitting behind the lens.
All right.
All right, let's go do some kickflips.
Okay.
So Max, how long you been skating for?
Been off and on, but I'd say like 6 months.
Oh, brand new.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're comfortable like ollies, and you're already dropping in.
Yeah.
So I'll learn pretty quick.
Yeah.
Any other sports?
Rugby. Yeah.
Nice.
For like 1 season.
Nice. Nice. Why skateboarding?
My dad did it, and I just wanted to try it, and I thought it was really fun.
We could we could probably give you another mic.
Okay.
I don't know if do we have the other mic?
Yeah. Let's just try to let's just try to turn it on and give it to Max and see what happens.
All right. Max is
Yeah. We gotta try it.
Yeah.
won't fall off while I'm skating.
It might. That's completely fine.
And that's our fault. It's okay.
If
It'll be fine.
if you want to just clip it like on your shirt like this, and you can just leave it there. Whoops.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Can we hear Max?
Like that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm going to get a little delay, so we'll see. Give me a test.
Test. Test. Is it working?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, I think it seems louder than me.
Cool.
All right.
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
let's start with just absolute basics.
Okay.
If you were to go try a kickflip on your own, where are you at? Like, just give one a shot. Don't do anything special. That's
Wait.
pretty good. That's actually pretty good though. You're a strong kid.
I've done better.
Yeah,
Can I
that's
try
just
another
fine.
one?
Yeah.
Alright.
This isn't to like judge your best ability.
Wait.
Just to see what
on.
the general idea is.
Wait.
That's just fine. You don't have to get any close.
Yeah, I've done back foot on before.
What about ollies?
Ollies?
Show me just like your nicest ollie. Those are strong. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to do an ollie and land as soft as possible,
Yeah.
can you show me that?
Okay.
Can you feel your front foot overpowering everything a little bit on the way down?
Yeah.
Like if you were to just jump without doing an ollie, like no
Yeah.
board at all. You can just step off your board like on the ground and just jump and land soft. There. Okay, you can land on the balls of your feet a little bit more. Keep your heels in the air. Yeah, does that feel a
Okay.
little bit softer?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try it one more ollie
Okay.
and land just like that. There we go.
Okay. Oh, wait. Here.
Oh, it's you.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
that idea that's how we're gonna land tricks.
Yeah.
Because especially when you start progressing, you start going off at things, you need to be absorbing more than pushing.
Yeah.
And they'll also buy you a little bit of timing here.
All right.
So let's make one more change. Let's skate this way.
All right.
I want you to try to ollie and then land with your back wheels first.
Okay.
So like this.
Okay. Wait.
Let's try one more. Let's get that feeling nice and comfy.
Okay.
So come here. It's not done by you're goofy.
Yeah, goofy.
So you skate this way. It's not done by leaning this way.
Okay.
Yes, that'll put us over our back foot, but we're gonna lose our balance.
Yeah.
That is done by lifting this front leg higher.
Okay.
So just stand right. If we were to do this off of the board, I think this is the easiest way. You just jump regular and then land your front foot second. So jump off of both feet so you can keep your balance, right? And then land with your front foot. Can you feel yourself throwing yourself backwards?
Yeah.
Right? So if you do that on your board, you just end up in that position.
Yeah.
Right? Where we want to jump straight and just land that front foot just barely second.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're going to need that front foot out here to do all the flipping and doing all that control stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, you're like throwing yourself so hard at your front foot.
Yeah.
Right? So all we're trying to do is get you like centered over the ground and balanced.
Okay.
And with that front foot a little bit higher. Okay. So let's try a couple more ollies. And just land back wheels first.
Wait.
Nice and soft. That was softer, that was better.
Yeah.
So it's hard for you to get your back wheels to land first.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to pushing on your front foot.
Yeah. Okay.
That if you push your front foot to the ground, you just won't have time to get that those back wheels down first.
Yeah.
So for you, it's gonna feel like you're just holding your front foot all the way up here, all the way through the landing.
Okay.
You see how it's just like so intense, like it's dragging you towards your front foot.
Yeah.
So when you bend it, you just end up like all the way up here, right? So keep the ollie a little bit softer.
Okay.
You know what would be good? You ever done this? Where you do a little hippie jump and lift the nose up?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Can you do a manual?
What?
Can you do manuals?
Probably not. Maybe like little ones. I can try.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Set your back foot up like you're gonna do a kickflip.
Okay.
Because your back foot position's really good. And then let's see if you can hold that manual. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now what we're gonna do, it's a little bit tricky. Hippie jump where you lift the nose and you land in a manual,
Okay.
right? And then set it down. Try and hold that manual.
Okay. Or wait.
There we go. You see how soft? And
Yeah.
like it was a small ollie, your back wheels landed first. And it didn't really feel like you were doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
It feels like you're not even trying to ollie.
Yeah.
And it's sort of bouncing. So let's see a couple more of those. So I want you just to get that out. Yeah, nice. Nice. All right. So can you ollie that high? No more than that. And get your board to flip halfway.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. But did you land in a manual?
No.
No. So keep that same balance that you had just a second ago and try to get the board to flip. It's okay if it doesn't flip. There.
Yeah.
There. Get used to that a little bit.
Okay.
Way better. Lighter pop, lighter flick.
Yeah.
Focus on that bounce. Just get one more.
Okay. Or wait.
No, it switched. You got to the front foot.
Yeah.
Just stay on that back foot. Okay. So that's my big homework for you.
Yeah.
Is like, let's make it so simple that you can practice it like right away and you won't forget and you can get better like immediately.
Okay.
Right? Hippie jump and you land in that little tiny manual.
Yeah.
Right? Get control of that so it's not doing ollies every time accidentally. Get control of that. Maybe if you really figure it out, like you can hold it. You know, if you can jump in it, like do hippie jumps in and out of that manual. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Step one, you can practice that. Like, you can't practice that too much.
Okay.
You would get a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
And the next thing is use that foundation to do half flips.
Okay.
Okay. The only thing after that is you can start jumping harder and your board will start flipping all the way.
Yeah.
But
okay.
right now, when you start trying really hard, you throw your body around a lot, and we need to be able to jump high, but stay in that balance, like that we're doing with the hippie jump. So those are the two things: hippie jump manual and small pop half flip.
Okay.
That's your homework plus your regular skating.
All right.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you have any like questions or concerns or anything that like doesn't make sense about?
No, I think that's good. Let me try and see. Let me see if I still like got it.
So when you notice that happen,
Yeah.
like what's your fix? You're like trying to land in the manual and you're slipping out a little bit.
I'm leaning back.
You're
Too
leaning
much.
back up here.
Yeah.
And you need to get over the tail by just shifting that board a little bit forward, but
Yeah.
not by getting back there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just push that board out in front of you just a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
That'll keep you over the tail. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much.
Cool, no problem.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, dude.
Kickflips are hard.
Yeah.
And they take a while.
Okay.
So, like, be cool, be nice to yourself about it, and just focus on, like, the simple stuff.
Yeah.
And keep your balance. You'll be rolling.
All right. Thank you so much.
And I'll take the
Oh, yeah. I'm on it.
mic.
Yeah. Go phone.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was great.
Nice job, Max.
Yeah, nice job.
Thank you.
Let me put this thing away. Max is our first guest. First of many, probably. You see what Max just messaged? He said, yo, on the stream, he goes, yo, I'm at Alga. Can you help me with kickflips? Max, I would die for you. All right, let's see. Why is Switch so good for beginners? Because all this to steal a mic. Switch is good for beginners because Switch is good for everybody. It's like, people think Switch is somehow like very different than just riding a skateboard normally. And it's exactly the same thing as riding a skateboard. And so if you're avoiding learning how to push and stop and ollie Switch because you think it's like something that's impossible or like way, way, way harder, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. Davo, what kind of sandwich? After our session yesterday, we were talking about Jersey Mike's, number 9's, Mike's Way. And I went into Jersey Mike's to go get a sandwich after the stream. And I've been on such a good diet that when I saw the deli meat, I was actually like, I'd rather eat my turkey breast. So I don't know if I'm huge on deli meats right now. Yeah, Mike's, I went and got 2 sushi rolls from Vaughn's instead. I made the worst purchases yesterday. I've been so good about shopping and like saving cash. And I went to Vaughn's. I got 2 sushi rolls and I got a kombucha that I immediately bought, sat down, and then forgot. And then I was so hungry that I got beef jerky after that. And so that was my biggest like grocery expense that didn't last more than one day in a while. Do you try kickflip? What do you mean? Helps with muscular imbalance and posture issues as well. Doing switch evens out your body. I feel like it evens out your skill set, and like the big thing that you have to do to keep your strength on both sides is pushing. If you're pushing a lot, skating like miles a day, which I recommend if you're bad at skating, just skate a couple miles. Do a half switch, half regular. You'll get your legs super strong and you'll get your balance great. Let's do those. Let's do those front 180s. Oh, okay, Matthias, you have convinced me. Let's touch on frontside reverts. Let's just do it right here. Screw it. So, wherever you want to stand. I don't know what you.
Just the sun's better when it's.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're all blacked
Okay. So frontside reverts, right? They look like this. How do we get that thing How do we get that thing rotating? And so much of skateboarding is done in the setup. Okay, so if you have any experience doing anything, I love when students have experience in sports, soccer especially, wrestling, fighting is a great one, boxing, because they can slip. When did we lose it? Let me check the battery. You can check it on here.
It's unplugged here.
Oh.
Just from hanging.
When did we lose it?
Hard to say.
What's the last thing you guys heard? Be honest. And don't lie.
Muted king.
69 seconds ago. When you talked about sports. At the beginning. All right. Who's gonna tell him? Before you said anything. All right. So we're gonna work on frontside 180s. Whenever I talk to a student, I love when they do sports. Okay.
I miss Brock.
If we had Brock, when we have Brock, our cameras aren't going to die and our mics aren't going to be unplugged, and children screaming will be a huge problem now. So, let's just start from the beginning. To get your frontside rotations rolling, you have to get a good wind up. To get a good wind up, I don't want you to just rotate, because that doesn't really do anything, because we're not only trying to spin, right? This is what everyone does in the beginning, is just take their arms and their shoulders and go like this. Rarely it'll even be paired with a squat. If you're pairing it with a squat, I'm happier than just doing this, because this doesn't really do much. I want you to be comfortable moving off of center like fighting, which I was probably talking about right before the mic turned off, is when you're fighting, you have to slip and you rotate and your head moves off of the center line. You would never slip a punch by doing this. You'd get knocked out so fast. So when you're setting up for that frontside rotation, I want you to be comfortable moving your lead shoulder and your head and your chin off of center towards your tail, because that's how our bodies want to work. And it makes it nice and intuitive because it feels like a pushing and pulling motion. You can take your lead hand and your lead shoulder and push it towards your tail and then pull into the rotation, right? You can get a lot of power like that. And it's intuitive because we're always pushing and pulling. You know how to start a lawnmower, right? If you think about starting a lawnmower, you're gonna lean over that foot, get braced, and you're gonna pull your weight into it, right? That is exactly the kind of thing we're trying to find for this rotation power, right? Push, pull, okay? The next thing we have to do is definitely make sure we pair it with a jump. Are you reading chat? Are we good on mics and cameras and lions and tigers and bears? Hypnotize your opponent with shoulder twirls. Core strength is important. I didn't find that out till I was 25. What were you doing before you were 25?
Falling over.
Just falling over? Were you just struggling? One of the funniest questions I get is, am I supposed to engage my core? It's like, bro, I don't know. Probably just get everything super as strong as you can and then just exist. That's the best plan. Like, if you ever think about how strong you are, just get stronger. Like, if you're ever having to engage your core or your legs you don't have control of your body, or just get stronger. Go to the gym a lot, work hard, skate more, drink a lot of water. Push and pull, okay, and we have to pair that with a jump, meaning it's a very common idea that when you want to rotate and it's not going, that you want to push down into the board to push through the ground to get it to rotate. It's a very simple, it's not rotating, I should push harder. And I actually have some empathy for that, because that makes sense, at least. That one, I'm just sorry that that's not the case. It's paired with a jumping motion before that push. So we have to start this rotation. I'm getting off center, I'm winding up, I'm pushing, and I'm pulling, and I'm jumping, right, to get this thing started. Just a little bit to get my weight off of my wheels, to make it easy to get that front 180 to start, right? And then after it starts, that's when you start pushing and really trying to finish it, really trying to force it. My weight is shifting a lot over my back foot and down, and then up and over that front foot, right? And then that stuff happens. So it helps to get over the nose more after you jump, right? Because then that thing will just spin forever. But overall, that's the basic foundation. Those are the fundamentals of rotating. It's how your weight is transferred. It's how that rotation, that wind up, and that jump, and all that. Once you get that working together, you're in good shape. Let's get some shade and see if that made sense to any of you guys. Sit straight. Skating is hard. Hips. Okay, we do have to talk about hips. Let's get it up to 600 likes. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Watching the stream and not even pressing like? These New Balances are 440 high tops. Tyler's got the same ones on. I actually like the black ones more. So I skated mine and ruined them, and now I'm just sad about it. I shouldn't have skated them. I need to drink water. You're right. I'm gonna drink water after this. It seems sometimes you miss competing, or is it the adrenaline you miss? I haven't missed a contest yet. I'm definitely gonna have some times where I miss it. That's for sure. But if you think about well, for me, straight up facts, it's just not worth it. If I get hurt, this whole skate IQ thing really struggles. The prize money at the contests are not what they used to be. Sponsorship packages look a lot different than they used to when it was in the gold rush era when I was coming up. It's just a different situation. Why are you on an obstacle? Because good question, but there's not really anyone skating obstacles here. I liked it for you. Thank you. Thank you. Mike 100, no problem. We're happy to do it. Why do people slide their front foot? Is it ignorance or is it how it works? We did a whole Ollie section, like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hours ago. Make sure you go check that out. We talked about the sliding front foot. I mean, it's obvious why people teach it like that. It seems like that's what's going on, but it's just different. It's just not obvious to the untrained eye what is going on. How do you ignore current politics? Well, first of all, Harold, I was not thinking about that at all until you brought it up. And honestly, my plan is exactly the same no matter what happens. We are running lives and doing camps and trying our best. So it's not really a whole lot I can do about it. So I just don't really trip too much. Mitch, what are some of your old contests we can watch? You can just go on YouTube, type in Mitchy Brusco X Games. That's probably the best way. There's a lot. Official Keith, I do not stretch. I don't think it's as useful as people think. I think people who stretch a lot tend to get hurt more than people who don't. I don't know why. Take a long time to warm up. Take 20 or 30 minutes to warm up before your session. And during your session with plyometrics and whatever mobility stuff you have to do. If that involves a little bit of stretching, great. That's good for you. I've stretched before, but you know, let me stretch for 30 minutes before skating. That's crazy. I think you'll like them. Thanks a lot, Jacqueline. That's good stuff. No problem. Let's talk about the hips, and then I'm gonna drink some water, and then we'll figure out what's gonna happen next. Pumping back and forth run is like sick. That's a great one. So, oh, you gotta get on this side. So, what do your hips do when you are winding up? For me, my hips, like my knees to my sternum, right? Like this triangle is like very connected. So if I rotate my upper body or my hips, everything comes with. So I don't really have to think about, okay, I'm gonna rotate my upper body and my hips. A lot of my students though, they have to do that because it's not very obvious what's going on. I would say avoid feeling like it's a big twisting motion. I don't want you to ever feel like you're twisting to get your wind up. Leaning forward and squatting, like leaning your chest over a foot, and then squatting should get you a lot of mobility, right? So if I lean my chest forward and I squat, this hip comes out, that knee comes out, all that stuff. I'm not feeling like I'm twisting my hips or my back or anything like that. We're just letting everything go and everything come back. Geez, I need another coffee. We need an espresso. That's what we didn't do. Definitely need an espresso. Maybe have an
Water, too.
maybe have.
You could just be dying of dehydration.
I for sure am.
Yeah, that could be it.
No, I drank a bunch of water.
2 hours ago now.
That's a good point. How long will you be in California? I'll be in California for the next week, and then we live here. So, how often are you going to be streaming? Gotta go. Yeah, I'll be streaming. We got this thing. We're here to stream. We'll be streaming a lot. Misa, I do not know. I do not know. It could be a lot of things why your shoulders are turning when you ollie. I would love to see if we could have a place, if we could have a way so I could view your guys' stuff. That would be a great addition to the stream. I would definitely like that. Okay, I'm gonna get some water in me, and then let's do some flat bar stuff, some board side stuff. Hopefully, when we're done with the rail section, you guys can have like a very good idea how to stay safe on a rail, how to approach it, how fast you're gonna wanna go, the line in. But we're gonna keep it so simple. Just like transitions, just like ollies, we're gonna keep the process very simple so you can go approach it from day one. Okay, there's a drinking fountain. Yep.
What did you say, little bit?
Flat bars. Okay, let's do flat bars. Let's do it in a very easy way so we can stay alive. I'm very hydrated. Ricky Glacier. Of course I read chat. Are you kidding me, dude? We have the absolute legend now in our presence. You guys probably know. You guys probably all know Ricky. Ricky, throw Ricky's in the chat. That's great. Ricky, I thought that was hilarious when you shouted me out in that video. I appreciated that so much, but I thought it was genuinely funny. You were like, it was like some, not an apology video, but it was like a tell-all. Like, go watch Skate IQ. I was like, that's very nice.
Yeah.
It's good to be live streaming. We're really excited about this. It's fun. And the quality is so good. I can't believe it. Get Maya and go skate together. Love playing on rails. So let's do board slides. And you can stay sideways here. Just make sure you can see the hips. So the biggest problem with board slides is getting hurt. It's not making them. To guarantee that you get hurt when you try a board slide, you put your hips forward and you put your hands in the air. Okay, if you're doing a board slide like this, you are guaranteed that something is going to go very, very wrong, because you're going to get stuck on the board. Your legs are straight, you can't see anything, then your board shoots out, and you end up sitting on this thing that you're not supposed to sit on. When you bend down, point your chest at the ground. Keep your knees bent. This will make your hips go backwards. If you do that, it's very easy to stay forward. If you can stay forward, it's very easy to stay safe. So if you look at what an example of that would look like, I haven't board slid this rail in years. I don't know how much wax is on it. I don't know how much it's gonna slide, but when I get on, I'm gonna bend over forward so I can stay safe. All I have to do is jump off and we're fine. There was never a moment where I felt like I was back here at all. If I'm ever back there, it's bad. It's not a skill level thing. It's not a talent thing. I'm not good enough to get on a rail in a dangerous way and then somehow just survive and get through it. I will die too, just like the rest of you. Number two, after we get this idea across in our heads, I want you to ollie and land down on the rail. Okay, I don't want you coming at the rail and jamming yourself into it and trying to rock up onto it. Jump and land down on the rail. Okay? Another example so you can see that. That one's less obvious because it looks like you might jam yourself into the rail a little bit, but you really don't. You do an ollie and you set it down. Okay, so those two things should be very clear now. Number three, you need to push against the rail. So when you land on it, it's very easy to just collapse and to be really soft, but you need to push your feet, push into your feet, and stand up during your board slide. Skateboarding is a very, you gotta be very aggressive with your leg power. So you gotta keep your legs strong enough to stay standing while you're grinding. You notice I have a slight bend in my knees, slight bend in my hips, and my chest a little bit forward. This is like a really nice board slide position. Too squatted is bad. Too far forward is bad. So we want that Goldilocks zone where when we land, we are actively pushing pressure into our feet and keeping everything forward. Some of you guys are gonna struggle with this. And I think it's because you have trouble isolating your leg strength, where when you push into your feet, it's gonna go like this. For some reason, I don't know why people are like this, but when you say stand up, they go like this. When really, you keep that hinge at the hips a little bit and you just push into your feet before your knees get straight and you end here, right? This is very difficult for people, and I'm not exactly sure why. Say straighten your legs, they go okay, or okay, and everything moves around a lot. Just get it to this neutral Goldilocks zone where you can hold your board slide with strong legs for a long, long time. We have front board? Yeah, of course. I've never had a broken board, especially not on a rail. Instructions unclear. I backlip slide did El Toro. Can you learn it on a ledge first? I've rarely done board slides on ledges. If you do it on a ledge, just jam your front truck up against the ledge. Sorry, your back truck up against the ledge. That should be acceptable. I don't think it's that big of a deal. That worked out. No problem. The last thing on backside board slides before we go into front is the adjustments. You're not gonna have a perfect board slide. It's like a manual. When you're doing it, you're gonna be shifting around and moving your board and moving your feet and standing and squatting and bending and leaning and feeling. Get in a position where you can make adjustments during your board slide. Don't try to get it just perfect. A hack, though, is wax the rail a lot, go super fast, lean far forward, and it's like you're ice skating. It's never gonna move. You just stay the same speed the whole time. Takes out all the friction. That makes it easier. For frontside, let me commute to a frontside board slide. So, when you're over here and you want to go frontside, the big thing is everything's exactly the same. So you actually still want to keep that slight bend, your hips back, chest forward. But now you have to look. all still hanging out in here chatting.
Yeah, let's do it. You're live.
Surprise! Check it out. Check it out. Okay, so what happened was, it's a very casual mistake. We had the cord plugged into the wrong port on the battery pack. So I think we were taking charge away from the Solo Live and charging the battery pack with it. That's possibly what was happening. It might have just died naturally. Best case scenario, it died naturally with no external causes. Worst case scenario, it was actually charging our battery pack instead of the other way around.
Which seems just like a design flaw.
Yeah, that does not seem like it's our fault.
Yeah, that's a design flaw.
That seems like there should be a very well written warning that says this one charges. Plug this one into charge. Okay, let's finish our board sides. Let's finish our front boards, and then we will have a proper sign up before coffee and lunch. Perfect. Perfect.
51 to 1260. You gave us $2.
Well, thank you, Ricky. I could try a 12. It's just so much spinning. That's so stupid. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate you supporting this channel and everything you've done for skateboarding. You guys have been very helpful in our channel and seeing what you've done. Like, I watch your videos. It's like I see what you've done with your community. Definitely, guys, if you don't know who Ricky Glacier is, go check him out. Throw him a sub, throw him some support. Seems like you guys all know him though. Like, you guys are excited when he showed up. For frontside boards, let's make sure that we are getting up and over the rail by ollieing and then pushing our front foot into position. Okay, one of the biggest problems that we see with front boards is that people try to roll that front foot over and maybe rotate it into position, where I want you to pick it up and then push it across the rail. Remember for that ollie tutorial earlier? We talked about bringing your front foot up to the inside. This sets you up great to push it straight out, right? That will rotate your board 90 degrees. That is plenty. Okay, it's a very simple motion, but important because we push that front foot because we're gonna have to stand up on it. The next thing I want you to focus on, well, let me show an example of that. Just watch that strong front leg that locks you into the board slide. Do a very short, very simple. Right, you get those tall legs, those strong, tall legs. The next thing I want to talk about is balance. The two biggest issues with balance is arched back, hips forward, trying to stay over that heel side. Just remember that you can lean your upper body forward and you can keep your weight on your front heel. So just because I'm hinging forward doesn't mean I'm actually leaning this way. I can hinge forward and stay over my heel side so I can stay in this front board, okay? Don't convince yourself that you have to have a tall chest to stay on the heel side. Couldn't be further from the truth. It is hurting you more than it is helping you. Chest down, nice and balanced. Okay. The last big part of the front board Yo, yep. You guys are, it's impossible for you guys to learn front boards. This thing is cursed. We just constantly got to be checking the chat.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
But do you know when?
No, I don't know.
Whatever. The last big part of the front board, oh, we caught it so fast,
Yeah, that's what it is.
is your shoulders, right? So we want to keep our upper body is going to control the direction that we come out. So if we keep our upper body parallel to the rail, we can skate out of it forward. If our upper body crosses the rail and we get perpendicular, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. So if you rotate onto it, it's just going to keep rotating and you're going to end up coming out fakie. So that's what we can do. We can keep our upper body parallel and push that front foot over to confirm that we're going to come out this way. Then we have 3 main pieces. Push the front foot. Push your front foot over. Hinge forward. And then you can use your shoulders to decide which direction you want to come out. It's really a very straightforward little combination of things. Face this way. Right? There's never a moment where I'm feeling too out of balance, and there's definitely never a moment where I'm feeling like I'm pushing my upper body or my chest back towards the front board. Okay? Backside and frontside board slides. Done. Check. The most technically difficulty stream. Yeah, I mean, we usually have a guy who does the technical part. The mics are charged, the cameras are charged, the batteries are charged. This thing will be charging during the stream. We have like hands, we can have someone watching chat 24/7. So as soon as something goes wrong, we'll know. Right now it's just us hanging. And I gotta put my phone away to skate. Unless you guys order me a pair of Ironman sunglasses where I can read chat through my gaming goggles while skating, we're gonna run into some problems. We got Mitchie Brusco. Yeah, Fade, what's good? We do. Okay, that's it for today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when we're going live. We're going to be doing this a lot more. We don't have an actual schedule yet. This is day 2 in a row, but it's our first 2 days that we're able to stream. So we're rolling at 100% days possible streamed. So show us some love, give that sub, and make sure you come to the next one because we're going to keep trying to mix it up. And as this thing ages, hopefully we can bring on some guests and doing like a lot more collaborations with you guys, hopefully watch the viewer submitted videos, whatever. But this starts with you guys coming, chatting, watching, hanging. So much love. I'm gonna go eat some probably grocery store sushi and have a coffee and use this driver that I bought on OfferUp earlier this morning. So much love, guys, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Awkward pause.
Takes a minute to end the stream, so